When I worked first with my client back then, one of the biggest struggles that I had was coming up with new ad creative ideas. And even at the time, I was thinking that actually knowing only Facebook Ads Manager like CBO or ABO is not enough. I knew at the time that the ad algorithms will improve in such a way that your targeting actually does not even matter so much. And that is true. Nowadays you could see that you could get the best results with a broad targeting where you don't include any detailed targeting options. Basically your targeting is the creative itself. So it could be the best media buy in the world, but if your creative sucks, 100% your return on spend will be extremely low. So there's no way around. You have to master this if you want to have an e-commerce business that is doing 6, 7, and 8 figure mark. So what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna help you to kind of think about the process of coming up with new ad creative ideas that will generate you a very good return on spend and that will sustain for a long period of time. These tips are from my experience and from observations and from talking to other great marketers. So the first tip that I want to talk about is something that actually you have to make. It's no way around, and that is knowing your customers very, very well. Like if you don't even know what are their most common problems and objections around your product, in that case, whatever videos or images you are making, they are simply not gonna perform. So before you even go and think about that ad creative idea, take a piece of paper, or if it's more suitable for you, go and open a document and write on one side the pain points and the wishes of your ideal customer. And you could do that by watching some YouTube videos and looking at what people say in the comments, videos around your topic or your products, or go to Amazon, to Reddit, and like read what your ideal customer says about that product. And on the other side, write the benefits of your product. Also, you could include your unique selling advantages and the use case. These are the most important things that you should have somewhere written down. Because when you are coming up with the new creative ideas, you can go back always and see all those notes that you did 1 month ago or 2 months ago. Now, let's say that you already did that. The next step is going and taking specific shots. Not thinking about the entire video, but just going and taking specific shots that are going to articulate the message of your brand and are going to handle the customer's objections and pain points that you already wrote down in the past. So if you think about each shot, this is going to show visually the benefit of your product and is going to kind of explain the details of your product and how this product is going to solve the customer's pain points. When a customer or a viewer on Instagram or Facebook sees your ad and they see that you are showing that visually, which visual part actually proves that your product is good and is proving all the claims that you are having around your product. So let me give you a perfect example. Let's say that you say your product has this unique fabric. Just saying that in the ad copy or in the description or on your landing page, that is simply not enough nowadays. Because everywhere you could look, every single brand says that my product is unique, my product is this good. So the customer is already confused. They don't know actually which product is the best. By showing that visually, let's say you have a close-up where you show like the quality, the details of that fabric. In that case, you're gonna be more likely to increase your conversion rate because people could see that clearly and dynamically, and that is a very strong proof that actually what you're saying it's true. So I hope this makes sense because it's extremely important. And once you know all the pain points and all the benefits of your product, in that case you can literally create tons and tons of shots. You could go and do all those shots in one day, and then afterward you could have a video editor, or if you're good with video editing, you could put together all those shots in one single video, and right there you have a very compelling video. One of the most known formula in the marketing for video ads is first you start with a problem, then you introduce the product, then you also reveal the benefits and feature, add some social proof, and you finish with a call to action. And so far we literally talked about taking those shots that are going to display the problems and the solutions of your product. Now, the second tip that is going to help you to come up with more ad creative ideas is getting inspired by other brands. You could use, if you are running ads on Facebook and Instagram, their ads library. It's totally free and it's giving you the choice to go and see exactly the advertising campaigns that your competitors or other brands out there are running. So to find this Facebook ads library, you simply type facebook.com/ads/library, and then afterwards you type the name of a brand that you wanna see their ads. And what I recommend is looking at their oldest ads, not the ads that you are seeing from the top, but go at the bottom of the page and see the oldest ads. Because if they've been running these ads for a long period of time, most likely those ads are performing extremely well for them. If they did not perform, then in that case they would not even run that ad for such a long period of time. And when you look at those ads, look exactly why the advertiser chose to run those ads, why they chose to show exactly that frame, why they chose to use this message. And as you're looking at these ads, eventually you're gonna understand why the advertiser or the business owner chose those kind of components to show in their images, in their videos, and why they chose to use that message. So if we are talking about Facebook ads library, I can tell you that just working with this particular client, I was looking at all their competitors and I found a very interesting pattern. So they have all of them these videos where they start with the product, and then after a few seconds they move the camera to a very beautiful background. And I asked myself if that ad might work for this brand as well. And we launched this ad. It was very similar, like we started with a product, we started with a bestseller, and then after a few seconds we moved the camera to a very, very beautiful background that was related, notice my language, related to kind of the message that we are trying to convey with this brand. And we noticed a huge jump in conversions and sales. So that is the power of kind of like stalking your competitors to see what ads they are running. So we understood that this market is very interested in these types of creatives. And from now on, we will make sure that we'll make more iterative testings with different backgrounds, for example. This is gonna give us more choices, and then this is gonna give us more ad creative ideas that I can come up for our next ads. So I hope that you got this idea. And the benefits of using ads library is that you could find faster winning ad creatives, so you don't need to go through multiple testings. You could go to ads library and find our creatives from our brands. They've already made those testings, they've already spent a lot of money to figure out what is working. You could like model them, not copy, but model them, and most likely they're gonna perform well for your business as well. And the second benefit is that it takes less time to come up with these new ad creative ideas. If you're just putting a blank piece of paper, it's very intimidating and difficult to kind of come up with the entire storyline for your video. Here with some examples, it's a little bit easier and it takes less time. However, there is a downside. If you're just always copying or modeling your competitors or other brands out there, you will not stand out on the marketplace. If your business is doing less than 7 figures, it is still okay to kind of have this approach. But if you really want to dominate the marketplace with your products and with your brand, in that case, you have to think outside of the box, and eventually you have to come up with very, very innovative kind of ad creative idea. And you'll know when you'll create this super interesting ad creative by looking at two things. One is having a huge return on investment, and the second, having other like smaller companies that start copying your ad creative. When you see those two things, in that case, you know that you created something innovative, something that the marketplace have never seen before. Now, the third tip that I want to give you, which I would fall into a category that is more related to mindset, it's more a recommendation, is something that I noticed it happens with every single area in the life, not just coming up with new ad creative ideas. And that is time. Now, what do I mean by time? You see, in every single area of your life, in order to be good, in order to master one skill, you need to allocate enough time. Think about it like learning to swim. If you want to be a good swimmer, you have to practice, you have to go and put some effort into that. if you want to be a champion in this sport, you need to put like decades. So you cannot expect coming up with like very good and persuasive ad creative ideas that are going to sustain and that are going to give you a very high return on spend for a long period of time if you have not put enough time. If you've worked for 1 month in marketing, don't wonder why your creatives are not so good. Always look at the ratio between how much time you put into this skill or into this aspect and how good you are into this skill. And I know that this doesn't sound sexy, but this is the truth. But there is one shortcut though, and that is getting coached. When you have a coach or a person who already went through or been there, they can guide you and they can tell you what to do, and they're gonna give you some recommendations of what you should avoid, the mistakes that they've done in the past, and what you should be focusing on. In that case, you're gonna get at that mastery much faster. And yes, I do offer coaching for e-commerce businesses. I know the power of compelling ad creatives. That's why I dedicated a lot of time, and I'm still dedicating a lot of time being a better marketer and creative strategist. If you are interested in these topics, then be sure to click on the link below and schedule a quick call with me. First, we want to find out if we have a right fit, because I cannot help everybody. If you are new into this space and you have not proved yet the product market fit, then most likely in that case, we are not gonna be the right choice for you. But you could keep watching my videos because they are designed to help you to get more sales and more conversions using social media ads. If you do know that the market and the audience likes and demands your product, we might be able to help you. So tap on the link, choose a time, and we'll talk soon. Peace.